It's hard for us to do really good self care right now, really holding ourselves with love and kindness. You can do this sitting up, lying down, however you want to support your body while you're doing this. Take a few deep breaths as you settle in and notice, what do those words even bring up? Self care, gratitude, the sun sparkling on the water and the trees, fear, difficult times. All of those are here, and they're always all here. And right now, they're more in our face. We're more aware of the extremes of it as well. And we're certainly more aware of our nervous systems and what's going on in our nervous system, if we can breathe and really relax, or if that's kind of closed down. We know that one of the effects of trauma is this disconnection from ourselves. And we don't really want to be in our body and feel what's going on there because it's painful, and we feel helpless and hurt and afraid and all of those things. And when we really are able to do these practices of connection, however that is for you, and it's a little bit different for all of us, and we can feel it in our bones, we can feel ourselves, that we're connected inside. We're not disconnected from ourselves. And when we notice that disconnection that we so often feel, I mean, often that's just the water that we swim in. We're disconnected from ourselves. We're disconnected from nature, disconnected from other people. And then we notice that, in fact, we could sense the breath as it moves through the nostrils, that coolness as it moves over the membranes in the nose as we breathe in. And we could take a deep breath and bring our shoulders up and then let it go with the out breath. Notice our body. One of the biggest ways that we disconnect from ourselves is through the thoughts in our mind. And that's also a trauma response, and it's also a very persistent pattern or habit. It's driven by fear in the nervous system, and it's calmed by reassurance and feeling safe. So just as we're starting the practice, we could recognize or acknowledge that there's a lot here. As we're breathing in, and then as we're relaxing, as we breathe out, we're attuning to ourselves, we're connecting with ourselves. For many, many years, my primary experience was disconnection. And I know I'm not the only one. That's so common in our culture. We feel disconnected from ourselves and each other. By noticing the flow of breath in the nostrils, letting go of the worry in our mind and the tightness in our forehead and eyebrows. By relaxing our whole body and being aware and attuned to our body, this is how we start to feel at home. And notice how you're breathing. When we're disconnected, it also often means a disconnected breath. So notice your breath right now. Notice as you breathe out, your body naturally softens. Really let the softening deepen with your attention to it. As you're breathing out and you're letting your shoulders soften, for instance, really pay attention to that feeling in the back of your neck, your shoulders, your upper back. Notice what it feels like. And as you breathe out, let it soften more and then some more. Really attune to your body. And when we acknowledge that we don't have to do anything or go anywhere right now, it helps us to let our bodies settle back and our mind settle. Our arms and hands, our legs and feet aren't needed to be in action right now. We could let them rest. And we could do the same with our mind. Right now, we don't need to figure anything out. We don't need to plan or defend ourselves or think of what was said or what we wish we'd said or think about the news or anything. Right now, the best thing we could do for ourselves is to let our mind settle. One of the ways we do that is by being really present in our body, noticing all the details. What does it feel like in your body, your felt experience, to take a deep breath and a long, slow out breath? And to really pay attention to that feeling in the body as we're releasing tension, we're releasing tightness, we're releasing anxiety or fear. Just with this softening of our belly as we breathe out, our attention on the breath. And as our body relaxes, our breath gets smoother, more continuous. We have more room to breathe. And then our breath, the ease in our breath signals our body, our nervous system. Yeah, it's okay to relax right now. We're safe. My body's safe. I could soften and relax. Our mind starts to quiet. We might have a bit more opportunity to focus on the stillness in the mind. Keeping some awareness in your body and in your breath. Start to notice the stillness in your mind. And we can notice the stillness or the silence between thoughts. It's helpful to put our attention on that. Like we might really focus in on the softening of our belly as we breathe out, and then we're peripherally aware of our whole body, but our attention is mostly on the softening and the stillness in the breath as we start to relax. We can do the same with the thoughts in our mind. We can notice the gaps between thought. And when we notice we've gotten involved in a train of thought, we very gently and patiently bring our attention back to the stillness in between. We can also notice the stillness that's always here, even when the mind is engaged in thought. We're aware of the space in which thought is coming and going. We're aware of the whole entire body, head to toes. And bring your attention into your heart center. In the physical body, we might notice the heart and the lungs, the chest, the rib cage, muscles that cover the shoulder blades and then up to the neck, down to the lower back. Might notice the movement of our body with the breath from the lower ribs through the stomach area down into the lower belly. The heart center is an energetic location. It's a chakra wheel or a connective hub of energy. And how we experience it in our body is often as a feeling or an emotion is felt in the heart center. We also feel sensations and energy in other parts of the body, but for now, just to focus in on the heart center. And notice what's here. One of the most profound ways we can care for ourselves is to pay attention, to notice, and to welcome. Welcoming is a bit different from enjoying in this sense. Even if there's a feeling of heartache or sadness or grief or some other emotion or feeling in the heart center, could there be a welcoming that that's part of who we are? It's what our experience is right now. I can attend, I can stay. And what does your heart know that it wants you to know? We'll give it some time. We'll listen. What does your heart know right now in this moment that it would be good for you to know? Remain aware that you're doing a practice, that your body is safe. Notice your breath, your whole body, and that you're listening to what your heart knows. There might not be a lot of words, there might not be any words. Words might come, images maybe. Just kind of stay with that, resting our attention in the heart center. What does your heart want you to know about self care right now? Do you long for more rest, more nature, more connection with someone, more connection with yourself? What does your heart know about self care right now, today? Notice if you're shaming yourself. Notice if you're holding yourself up to some kind of perfection. And if there's even a hint of that, see if you could let that go. It might be a common response in the mind, but it's never helpful. As though you were your absolute best friend. What would be helpful to do for self care right now? And as we listen, we try to remain aware and open and welcoming, even if it seems like it's kind of silly or not practical or something like that. Just to listen for another minute or so. What could you do? What does your heart know about what it really needs right now? How could you better take care of yourself right now? Make a note. You could also come back to listening to the heart at other times. That might be part of good self care. And we also know that gratitude and appreciation help to open the heart. So if you were to sit with that for a few minutes, I'm really grateful for. And as things are coming to mind, really focus in on them. If there's images or if it's someone's voice or music or the forest, whatever it might be, really let yourself feel that I'm really grateful for. And if you want, you could let the ideas and examples kind of fall a little bit into quiet as well and just sit with the gratitude itself. What does gratitude feel like in your heart center right now? And let that extend out to your whole entire body. Be aware again of your breath, of the way your body is situated, of the feeling in your body. You could move and stretch a little bit if you like. And then when you're ready, open your eyes.